Uh, hello. Hi, Jane. I'm Ella Mamadura. But Papa, buy me a deja vu. Hey, okay, guy. Hi, Hanvin. Warning stream contains themes of intoxication, alcohol, and excessive tobacco use. Continue. I think I don't know about alcohol and whatnot, but I think I put that on because sometimes I make drug jokes. Huh. Hi, Agent. Were you ever aware of your own entry on that virtual YouTuber wiki thing? It's on there. I don't really edit it, and I think it's probably the same as the last time I saw it. Hi, Vettel. Hold on. It's me. Wahoo! How are your allergies doing? Sometimes I wake up like this. Sometimes when I leave the fan on, I had a fan in my room, I reassembled it and cleaned it and it worked again. Sometimes when I leave the fan on, I think it blows too much dust at me or something and it makes me sick in the night. Or, I guess, in the day, considering I stayed up all night. Hi, Barmy. Hi, Byron. Do you wake up and serve? I feel like I don't know much about serving, but I feel like there's gotta be another person involved. Like a witness. Right? Hi, Bob. I don't know, I feel like if a tree falls in the woods and there's no one around to hear it, did it make a sound? If I wake up and serve... God, that sucks. Terrible. I don't want to say that in regards to myself, to be honest. That doesn't sound right at all. I feel like you have to use TikTok to say words like that, and I don't do that. Don't know. Make a filter for your room. Don't get sick from dust from a fan. Buy an air filter. There's one for the AC. Does that count? I actually replaced it a few weeks ago myself. I had to. It's very high up though. I got pelted with dust in the face. To be fair, I said my room is clean, but the floor is kind of dusty. Everything under my bed. I've got a pretty decently sized bed. I don't think it's anything huge, but it's decently sized. And so all of the real estate space or whatever underneath it that doesn't get swept, accumulates bad grain. Keep Merv filters are for smaller stuff, especially the stuff that should give you allergies. Should I pass out wearing one of those dust masks? I wonder. I think that might make me look all sickly. Hi, foreigner. Like if you walked in on someone passed out wearing a dust mask, would you think they're sad or that they're diseased? I feel like it depends on the state of their room, probably. Or maybe it can be both. Maybe a diseased person will be sad, probably. Lootable corpse. If you were to search my corpse, I think I would haunt you. And not in the good way, you know, it wouldn't be like, you're staying with me forever. No, I'd just torment you. I'd probably just break all your plates and give you diseases. What loot does Belle have? On my... I have a bag that whenever I go outside I wear. And in that, I guess I always keep a lighter, some pepper spray, and a wallet. And sometimes chapstick if I remember it. If it's too bright outside, I'll bring sunglasses because when it's too bright outside, I can't see at all because of my eyes. Blue eyes, you know, light penetrates straight through it and it hurts. A safety whistle, no umbrella. Wasn't it proven that safety whistles don't work? Like people just ignore them or something? You know, if you're getting attacked, what you should scream is fire or something. Which I've heard bad things about. I tether at 2001 I'd like to get back into the swing of it maybe, but I'm not very... I don't have a lot of brain power, so I wonder if I'll run out of conversation quickly. I got blue eyes, but they change color with what I'm wearing. They don't change color, your mind is just stupid and you perceive colors differently when they're paired next to other colors. For example, I make the scenery look brighter because I am so light in tone. You need to live in a really high trust area with lots of friendly people for it to work. To be fair, if I were just out and about and I heard a loud whistle, I probably wouldn't think anything of it. I would think like, man, this person with the whistle is really annoying. Wonder what's up with that. And then I go on about my day. No, it's because your smile lights up scenery. I'm gonna die. And also sneeze. I think I'm gonna sneeze. I don't know when though. People whistle loudly here just to be obnoxious. Whistles are... I don't know if they still do that. I feel like it's common with little boys' birthday parties and stuff, but whistles can be given out as a party favor or something because they're sports related. So every once in a while, I think most whistles you'll hear are from little kids. He's going on another 5-month hiatus because of this. I didn't even announce a hiatus really, did I? I said I wouldn't be around as much anymore. And then I didn't actually do the things I said I would. I don't really care that much though. Yeah, they still come with candy bags? I don't know. It's been a very, very long time since I last went to a party. Or, it feels wrong to say just party when it applies to children, you know? Party at my age sounds kind of like I should be hitting up all the college places where you drink and get laid, presumably. Dunno. Hi Mars, caught a stream. I'm not a fake fan. You are. It's okay though, I forgive you. You're a fraud in every way possible. Tweet like off device, cigarettes should suffice. Can I get some milk instead? I only smoke after I sleep with your mom. I said that yesterday. Party at my age is now gather up with friends and grill meat and talk about games or just eat pizza, turning our brains off with a video. That sounds more like what a party with your specific friend group is like. That said, how do I say it? 30 to 40. You need another 3-month break to get fresh material. I didn't get any fresh material. What happened in those 3 months? What the hell did I do? What did I do? I think I just went brain dead for 3 months straight. Have you seen Fight Club? Actually, I did do that during the 3 months. A few weeks ago. I watched it with my dad and my little brother. How did I... Fight Club. I kind of get... You see online all the time, like, oh, the point of Fight Club is that you're not supposed to want to be this guy. You know, everyone misses the point. I kind of understand that perspective, though. I kind of watched that movie and thought, like, it would be kind of cool to be this guy. Hi, Harika. Any chubby updates? It's fine. I gave him a very big dust bath yesterday. Like, I filled that. It's not a tub, it's shaped like a house. I filled it with way too much dust to see if he'd like it more. And I don't know if he did, but when he came out, he was a lot paler looking from all the dust. It was fun. He didn't spend that much longer in it though, so I don't think he cares that much about how much dust is in it. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe you should be a little thorough with it, Chubby. Don't know. Don't know. Normies wouldn't get it. You guys shower for 1 minute. You guys probably don't shower. You guys probably rinse your hair in the sink to avoid having to go outside to get hosed off. That's my theory. To them, it's just a popcorn time. What? Movies? Sometimes I eat pizza and watch a movie. It's like I don't know. I haven't. Sometimes I hear about the cinemas and whatnot and on social media. You know, everyone's always like, yeah, I went to the movie and I saw the one everyone's talking about. And I wonder, I don't know what it's like to go to a movie theater anymore. It's sticky, I think. I don't know. With toppings, right? No, I hate toppings on pizza. I'm brain dead. Cinemas suck. Now everything sucks now. That's because you're a jaded, depressing adult, and also because everything is expensive. I bet things were so great when you were 5, though. They serve nachos now? That would be weird. I'm kind of annoying. I'd be annoyed if I had to sit next to someone. And also they were eating nachos. You know, you'd have to hear all the crunching. I don't know. I feel like the point of popcorn is that it basically turns to mush in your mouth, right? And also it's always stale. If you're embarrassed about being disheveled, just do the sentinel flop and any unkind observers will leave. I don't think I could recognize. People will say like opioid zombies or fent flop or whatever. I don't think I could actually recognize any of these things on a real person. That's because I can't recognize normal behaviors either. I don't know. Gonna be listening to this between deliveries at work. Just want to say I do shower. It's okay if you don't shower. I don't mind. Or I mind, but also I can't smell you right now. I can't smell much of anything right now because my nose is a little clogged. I live the life I always live. Forever. And ever. Movie nachos always get soggy and rarely crunchy. That's even sadder. Now if I sit next to a person at a movie theater, and they have nachos, I'm gonna think, wow, this is how far you've fallen in life? You know, you wanted nachos, but those must suck. You want a quesadilla. In that case, it's not even crunchy. Cheese and tortilla. Hi, Barmy. Cinemas have been doing a lot of novelty collectible popcorn buckets lately. I heard when the Borderlands movie came out or whatever, people were basically getting the novelty ones from that for free because nobody wanted them. Something like that. My platformer. Long time no seen, looking good as always. Hope things have been going okay for you all this time. I've been living life. Living large. Living La Vida Loca. God, don't remind me of that movie. Obviously I didn't really watch it, but also, when I tried playing Borderlands, I thought it was kind of insufferable. So I don't think I could be let down by it in the first place. It feels like I have the same feelings about Deadpool, you know? I don't like Deadpool. I don't respect Deadpool. Congratulations, you're normal? I don't know, I remember my mom really liked Deadpool. She made a big show of putting the trailer up on the TV for everyone to watch, and she laughed really loud at when Deadpool said inappropriate things or whatever. And all I could think is, like, I really hope the normal population isn't this stupid. But I guess Deadpool is very popular, so they probably are this stupid. Apparently the latest Borderlands 2 update put spyware in the game. Doesn't every game have spyware in it or something? I'm safe though with Papa's Freezeria. What sorts of games have I been playing? I played Project Diva every day. I've gotten into the habit of playing Uma Musume for the login bonuses. I don't think I'd stream that though. Bella, are you spyware? Spyware probably loves me because I say everything that's on the front of my mind and I don't really think too hard about sharing details about myself. I'm not spyware anymore though. Or I used to kind of stalk people, I guess. But I don't really do that anymore because I don't want to hear about myself anymore. I haven't gone back and watched the stream I had yesterday because I don't want to see it. You talk when you're alone? No, but I talk in my head, I guess. If I talked out loud, that would be creepy and sad. Who's your favorite horse girl? Taiki Shuttle! And Matikane Fukukitaru. The horse brain rot. It's all encompassing, but I kind of understand it. I remember, like, Gold Ship. I always thought she was one of those ship girls. You know, the one I don't think it's Blue Archive, is it? The one Pippa likes. I always thought she looked like one of them, and that's why there was so much porn of her, you know. Azure Lane, Canonical Light. Probably can't I? Probably. No, the ship girl is named Gold Horse. Did you like the art? Uma Musume isn't really. It doesn't have art in it, really. It's mostly 3D, but it's pretty impressive 3D. Whenever Taiki wears her casual outfit, her boobs look massive and it's great. Huge! But Uma Musume. Why are you so gay? Are you telling me that you wouldn't go wow at massive boobs? Are you telling me that I'm unrelatable? Hmm? Hmm? I've seen praise of the Uma Musume Uma music translation keeping the original calls in. Oh no. I'm not any good at Japanese, but I at least know most of the onomatopoeia, so when I read the subtitles for Uma Pyoe Legend and whatnot, I was just thinking, like, that's how you're gonna translate Zukian? Go to hell. Brain dead. I'm the kind of person that throws a huge hissy fit over the quality of a translation. I don't think localization is inherently bad though. I'm pretty hurt recently because the original Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt had a god tier amazing dub, like one of the best dubs in history. And when Amazon got their grubby mitts on it, they replaced the entire cast and also completely butchered the dub, the scripting and whatnot. It sounds like Has-Been Hotel now. And like, for the sequel, yeah, for Panty and Stocking with Garter Belt 2, I don't know if localization is that the localizers are literal scum of the earth. I don't think that localization is inherently bad. I think for most cases I'm going to argue a little bit because I think half the complaints are stupid. Because, you know, sometimes a game will just have something you don't like in it. Shrimple as, whatever. Other times it's like they've just entirely failed to convey a meaning, or they've intentionally omitted it because, I don't know, the original had incest or something in it and nobody wants to hear about incest, but I think it's cruel to, you know, you're being paid to translate this. Translate the damn thing. I just saw clips of the My Dress Up Darling dub and it is absolute dog water, isn't it? Isn't it Funimation though? People will go like, oh, the Funimation dub is so bad. Have you seen any Funimation dub though? Have you? Breaking news, like, dirty road puddle water is filthy. It's disappointing, but you know. But you know. Hey, Sasakure-sama, want some ringo? Why yes, Tasuki-kun, I would daisuki that. This is how we should do translations. Wait, I should. Hey, Sasakure-sama, want some ringo? Gross, gross. There's a limit. Honestly, I hate when weebs will include a billion of the original names for Japanese things when it doesn't really need that. There's some cases where it's understandable and other cases where it's not. I feel like you could say something like charm or talisman in place of omamori, you know? But there's other things that don't really get translated as well, like yorishiro. There's that one translator of women's romance novels who kept removing descriptions of characters' appearance. Isn't that just insulting? I think if I were reading a romance novel and I just didn't know how the guy looked like, it would kind of kill me a little bit. Piss me off. It was for body positivity, you sure it wasn't just because they weren't into the guys? But dubs like a decade ago used to be better. I don't know what happened. I think it's probably because companies started having a stake in it, you know? It used to be just like, oh, whatever. You know, let the passion project people have a go at it. In general, I feel like the anime scene is a lot more neutered than it used to be. You know, you can't have people clomping anyone anymore. It would PMO free FRICLONG belt. What it? Piss me off real. Icicle. Ong. Womping? What's that? No, glomping. It's just like a big hug, like when you tackle someone with a hug. Because it happened in anime, people would replicate it and whatnot. Getting into translation so you can gatekeep your waifu by removing her best traits from the story. That's the most evil kind of love you could experience, probably. That's like when someone in a abuser in a relationship starts splicing your medicine with powdered milk or something. Gaslighting. Glomping, like, leaking. Should I... Am I maybe... I don't know, I feel like I'm out of touch here. Is this just what they say on TikTok or something? I feel like every time I hear something I don't recognize, it's because it's from TikTok. Where did that come from? I don't know. I'm brain dead. I don't even remember what I said. I just say everything. Tried reading manga and JP for a bit, looked for fan translations of it or the original light novel, realized everything was machine translated, even the ones that read well. Made impossible mistakes like getting the reading of a character's name wrong when it was spelled out phonetically. I remember early days of Dungeon Meshi translation, there was so much arguing about how particularly the characters' names should be translated. I'm still a little... There's also Spy X Family or whatever. I wasn't that committed, but I was really annoyed when the official translations for the names came out, and it bothered me so much I dropped it forever. What do you mean Yoru is Yor? Yoru has a pretty connotation to it though, like she looks like the knight. Hi Fred, thank you Fred. I don't know. I ain't it. Another partially missed stream. I should go die. I think it probably won't be that long. I'm just going until I run out of things to say. And I don't know how long that'll be because I'm pretty stupid. But there was, in Dungeon Meshi, there was a lot of debate about how they should, what's the word, Romanize? How they should spell out the characters' names and whatever. So you'd get like Farlin versus Fallen. The one that particularly bothered me was the master of the dungeon is Thistle, referring to the plant. You know, it's a real cool name. It's got a good root. And consistently, there is still arguing about whether it should be transliterated as Thistle or Sissel. Sissel. Ugh. Ew. Gross. There's still people arguing about it to this day. It turns out ages ago, an official translated manga, like publisher, whatever, stuck to their guns when they called him Sissel. They also originally called him a girl. Thistle sounds like an insult from the Middle Ages. That sounds like it sounds like the gross bits you cut off meat. I remember back in the PS1 days, pretty much every LR in JRPGs would be the wrong way around. Kind of inevitable, but I guess it kind of does create a more exotic tone unintentionally. Can they not use their eyes to realize he's not a girl? Do you want me to put a picture of Thistle on screen, to be fair? I'll go get it. He is very, very fun. Better Yaga. Better's not that bad, at least. I feel like it could be worse. I think Yaga's pretty cute though. Hold on. I'm trying to... Here we go. Thistle. Dungeon Meshi. Delicious in dungeon. The main catch is that he's an elf, so he's gonna look like a girl. Effeminate, fair enough. Elfussy. I feel like elf is the wrong modifier here. I feel like that kind of disqualifies every female elf, doesn't it? The Thistle fan art is crazy. Have you read Dungeon Meshi? Dungeon Meshi is crazy. Dungeon Meshi is like product of autism, I guess. Hey Dogu, brown? What's wrong with that? I think the brown is a benefit. I made my thoughts clear on brown. Some female elves have big old booberinas. There actually is another brown elf in... Well, I guess she's more black adjacent. But there is a dark-skinned elf with giant honkers. Give me a moment. Okay, she's just dark-skinned, but in the manga she's shaded pretty much entirely black. Hold on. Get on screen, girl. There's an elf who was arrested for being a furry. No, being arrested for using magic to transform their body into a werewolf. It's tattooed on them. Hi Eric, have you eaten yet? No. That's because I woke up like an hour ago though, to be fair. This pumice count, that's not, you're not able to redeem that, right? Oh, thank God, thank God. I don't have the mouth lubrication right now to handle that. My mouth is too dry. I would cough. You know those videos back from when people did the cinnamon challenge? I would look like I was suffering an ancient Egyptian curse. Mouth lubrication? What's wrong with that? That's the proper terminology. Drink water? No, but little bit reckless. Has your Pepsi habit been curb stomped? No. Well, yes, but I do have a Pepsi with me right now. It's not... It's the first one I've had in like a week. So, Pepsi for breakfast, it's 5 PM, please. How many bottles laying around? You're 0! It's great. I'm living the life. I've never ever drank anything. My floor is bare. I make a point to not keep any garbage in my room. You haven't sleep until 5 PM? Maybe look at the stream title. Maybe. Where do you rest now if no trash bags? My bed that I have, and it is full of pillows and blankets. What's wrong with drinking 1 or 2 soda cans a day? Bad for you? Question mark. Your floor is not bare, it's covered in dust. Yeah, well, I'll sweep it after I end the stream. I think maybe if I wake up at a reasonable time tomorrow, I might talk while I fold laundry too, because I've got unfolded laundry. In honor of the fact that your room is clean, I'll ignore the fact that you fell asleep at 7 AM. I tried to sleep. Like, I laid down in bed at 1 AM, a normal style, and I don't know what happened. I'm not actually sure I slept. but I definitely stopped being there in that moment. And all of a sudden I'm conscious and I can hear people rummaging around and yelling, and like 3 different people happily chatting, and they're moving around. And the sound gets louder and there's someone in my room. And then it just dissipates and I snap too, and it's like, I'm scared. It was 3 people, I guess, and I think I couldn't tell if they were outside or what, but there was someone in my room. I Sazerac. I guess I was just hallucinating or something. Spooked me though, and I couldn't get back to sleep. If that was sleep. Was it your dog? My dog's never in my room, unfortunately. I like having my dog in my room. It's so nice to wake up in a bed with a dog. Like, oh, there's a warm body in this bed. Oh. Excited to see me wake up. This is probably what marriage is like, maybe. Except I wouldn't want to get married to a dog. Are your carbon monoxide detectors up to date? I don't even know if we have any. If we do, there's probably no batteries in them. There's a warm body in this bed sounds terrifying. I wouldn't mind a cold body, to be honest, as long as it's still got flexibility to it. You know, if it were like a corpse with rigor mortis and whatnot. You know what they call Rick and Morty in Latin. Corpse with rigor mortis, it would be equivalent to having a big plank of wood in your bed, right? Like a log. It wouldn't be particularly comfortable, I think. Probably. What are you gonna do to a body with rigor mortis spell? Absolutely nothing, because I honestly don't want one in my bed. I'm just saying, like a warm body versus a cold body. You want the body to have a little bit of flexibility no matter what, because otherwise, you know, if it were a corpse, but it were still flexible, it'd probably be kind of like one of those cold pillows. Big cold pillow, you know? You know? So I'd rather not sleep with a corpse. I feel like that'd give me a disease. I'm sleep as in share a bed with, by the way. I'm not a necrophiliac. Really. If you need either, I volunteer. I feel like most of you I would trust more dead than alive. Nobody said that though, Vel? Well, I was clarifying because I'm not. It's like when you tell someone that you're not gay. Cause proof, how do we know you don't have bodies of your latest victims? I can't drive, why would it? I think it'd be amazing if I were a serial killer. It's not very convenient, is it? Murder's probably easier than it sounds, though. Like, I think, you know, you're going to get caught for murder. I think that's mostly just cop propaganda, probably. Like, the cops want you to think that you're gonna get caught so you don't try. You know, all you gotta do is kind of cut the meat up and blend it and use it for fertilizing plants. Probably. And then you can grind up the bones and also use that for fertilizing plants. All you gotta do is have your own house, probably. And maybe a car and a blender. I see you've thought this through. Well, you know. If you have pigs, it's easy. Yeah, but pigs aren't that thorough. You can't really trust a pig. And also, they can't digest hair and stuff. I think they also can't digest teeth. I don't know. You should pull out all the teeth and obliterate it. If you go by all scales and sizes even, I'd argue that people on average are sleeping on or next to thousands to millions of dead bodies than they are living ones. I'm probably sleeping next to 5 billion ghosts. I mean, how many people have died before? That number is probably in the trillions by now. Getting caught because you couldn't afford the power bill for the blender. Then you just gotta make a hand crank blender. How hard could it be, probably? I don't know. I shub. Would a hand crank blender be feasible? I feel like they used to do that in the 20s or something. Because, you know, muckrakers or whatever, and people kept getting their fingers cut off and they'd fall into your meat. The meat that you got from the market. That's why you shouldn't trust ground beef. Maybe. If you're in the 20s, at least. In Breaking Bad, they melted the bodies with acid. You know, that's a trope. I think one of the gay serial killers did it. I don't, Jeffrey Dahmer, maybe? I don't know. I don't remember. I don't think it's that practical, because there's no other reason you would have a giant tub of acid, right? You know, the cops come to visit your house, there's no plausible deniability. Why would you need this much acid for anything, if not melting a body? Not even like ghosts, just like dust mites and other bugs stacked up on your mattress. I don't have bugs, because they suffocate when you don't set the bed. The stale air kills them. You sound like you have too much experience with bodies. Is everything okay? I've only seen one dead body. Unless you count animals. If you count animals, I probably see one every time I go outside. It's, you know, roadkill and whatnot. I don't go outside that often though. But dead body. I've seen a dead body. It was my grandpa, probably my great grandpa. I don't really remember it. Been way too long. I just know a good amount about human anatomy and disease and whatnot. I think it's good to know. What was that noise? You might hear like rattling from my earbud wires. I keep breaking headphone wires, so I got earbuds because I feel like it's never the wire that breaks, right? Do these things ever break? I've never actually had earbuds break from normal means. They would just all break when Chubby got to them. It sounded like you died or something for a second. My words. Maybe I did die for a second. I feel like I could drop dead at any second, honestly. I have a kind of headache, honestly. But I don't know. Speaking of Chevy has little bud, he's fine. I give him treats every day. I sit with him sometimes, but he's not that cuddly. He's never been. He just frolics. It's just like I have an animal that lives in my house. It's not much of a pet, honestly, aside from the fact that I feed him. And ensure that he doesn't chew up all the wires. One of my earbuds was stolen by ghosts? Yeah, the ghost that I hired to steal your earbuds. Dummy. Hi, Dr. Chudenstein. That does sound like a pet. Yes, I feel like pet is a little more affectionate, though. I don't know. Like, if you were trap a bug in a giant bug labyrinth and keep it in there forever, and you still provided it food and whatnot, would that be a pet? If I were a giant, I would probably make a giant labyrinth to trap humans into. Like a dungeon. Funny to think about. Yeah, you could put down raw meat and see if they would cook it. Or if they'd be so sad and desperate and emaciated that they would eat the meat raw. Well, what traits would you look for in a pet? Asking for a friend. I like pets that let me pet them. Most animals aren't very affectionate with me. They like my dad better. I'm litterbox trained Val and can do tricks. I don't want any sort of... I don't want you to relieve yourself anywhere near or in my house, please. I think... like, maybe stand 500 feet away and do a backflip and I'll watch you with some binoculars, you know? You know, you can entertain me from a distance, that's fine. Backflip SVP? That sounds like you kind of injected your own desires in that, please don't. If I tried doing a backflip, I would perish. What's the point then? What's your trick? Do the splits or something. I don't know. Windmilling around as I pee. Get me out of here. Get me out of here. I'm in hell. How's studying been going? I'm a deadbeat loser. Simple as. Simple as. Got nothing to say for myself. I learned how weather works though. It's all about the compression of air, really. Neat. Diagrams aren't very good at demonstrating it though. I'll do the superior trick, your taxes. I feel like you're aiming a little higher than pet, probably. Hey, Mumbo. Cold front, warm front. I just want a big front. Boobs? But when the cold front mixes with a warm front, it becomes a big front. By your standards, do goldfishes count as pets? Probably, but I think they're more something you admire. Like, you wouldn't consider a zoo animal a pet, generally. Right? When it's something to be admired and more just watched over than treated affectionately, I feel like that's when it stops being a pet. That's my thought, though. Not necessarily right. Some fishes do show affection. Don't trust TikTok videos. I don't think they're reliable. That's my advice. I think I might go because I keep hearing noises in the house and it's freaking me out. Wouldn't you like to know, Weather Girl? I would like to know absolutely nothing. I hate knowing. The forbidden knowledge. Very, very tiny tail. I haven't opened Twitch in years. Not years. In a while. I'll go raid Ruri though. I like Ruri. Thank you for streaming all. Nice to chat to you. Thank you for coming. You know what, I'll say bye to everyone. Bye Barbie, bye Nate, bye Eric, bye Sazerac, bye Nasama, bye Attica. Oh wow, there are a lot of people. I was thinking I'll say goodbye to everyone because there's barely anyone here. That's actually a pretty good number. Bye Schattenstein, bye Meek Dugo, bye Mars. Why are you live while I'm wage slaving? Why do you hate the working class? You know, I fight for wealth inequality or whatever. See ya super duper, see ya Tethera. Bye Bob, bye Enid. Bye Deja, bye Hambun. Goodbye. Bye Byron. Bye Vettel. Goodbye now.